Guys, procrastination. Do you know how long you can procrastinate? You can procrastinate until you're fucking dead. You know, I honestly know people in my life now that are in their 50s and 60s who wanted to do a thing and talked about that they would get around to doing it for 25 fucking years. That's fear. That's fear. That's not you waiting for the perfect moment. That's what that is. You're just fucking scared. And I understand shit's scary. And I know how it fucking adds up. You can just start to push it off one and it gets further and further. And I gotta tell you one of the things to look out for that's very fucking important. This is what I see happen with everyone. The Arthur Ashe quote is start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. And what he meant was don't wait for this perfect moment or like to get the tools, because all of that time that you're waiting, you're literally just putting a pause in the progress you could have already started. It doesn't matter if it's perfect. It doesn't matter if you're fucking ready. It doesn't matter if you have all the tools. That's the biggest one I see people do is like, well, I'm going to start doing this stuff once I get a bigger place, because then I'll have a place to set up a desk, or I'll have a place to set up my guitars and I need the recording equipment. Dude, the shit that we're talking about just requires you to do the work. Nobody that writes music now needs any of that shit. If you have a fucking guitar and you have a piece of paper, you can write a song. So I don't see how the tools are going to help you do that in any sort of way that's better than what you could be doing now. Do what you can, right? Do what you can now. That way, when you do get all that shit, like all that fucking equipment that you think you need, or the right time or the better schedule, then you'll already be ready. You'll be one step ahead because you've already been practicing. You've been putting in the reps. So I bring this up because I'm a perfect example of that. I had a whole lot of dreams at a very early age. I was one of those people that I decided to quit corporate jobs. I dropped out of college twice. I was like, this is not what I want to do. I just don't want my life to look like this. So I at least had the integrity to quit the fucking things that I didn't want to do. And I didn't just go through the motions to please a bunch of other fucking people. And that's helped me a lot too. But I have had a lot of times in my life where I was like, well, when like this happens, then I'll do the thing. I'll give you a perfect example with the newest business that I just started that's set to launch in a few months. Me and my business partner, now mind you, we already run a successful business. We already run a restaurant that's set to do $4 million in sales this year. We talked about setting up the LLC for that business, and we sat around making lists of all this stuff that we needed to do. We talked about that for 6 months, so half of a year. And that's not a joke. I honestly wish it was less time so I could be less embarrassed about it. Just kept saying like, oh yeah, well, we got to set up the LLC, and we got to get a tax ID number, and then we got to get a bank account. If anyone out there is thinking about starting an LLC and that's what you're going, is like, well, I need to figure out, I got to find a coach. And setting up an LLC takes about 30 minutes on the state's website where you live. It's $50 in Colorado. I'm not sure where it is where you live. We actually set ours up, and the fucking state secretary was doing a promotion to try and incentivize small business. It was $1 fucking dollar to start our LLC. It took about 20 minutes to fill out all the stuff on there. Got an email back and was like, yeah, your LLC is created. It was literally as fucking simple as that. So just don't be making the thing more complicated in your head than it actually is, because you don't know what it looks like. That's what your anxiety is coming from. It's just uncertainty. It's not that the thing's extra hard. You just don't know. So just go fucking start. Just go start the process of figuring it out. It's very fucking easy. A tax ID number from the IRS's website, that took about 5 minutes. It was free. It was $0. And then I had all that set up. And then we made a fucking appointment to get a bank account the very next week. So it was like 6 months of thinking that something was really hard turned into something that honestly took, fucking hours worth of time if we would have just started and just done it. Here's the second thing I learned from starting that business. We started vetting clothing producers, like American manufacturers, what we want. So let's see who's out there. Start sending emails and all this stuff. It took us fucking 2 months to get our first consultation call with a company. And we were like doing this very slow roll, like I'll send an email to those people, and then this got set up, it's 3 weeks out, and I'd take the phone call with them, and it'd take forever to send them the information that we wanted. After we got a proposal back from that company, we decided not to go with that company, right? We were like, well, we liked these things, we didn't like these things. Do you know how fucking fast the next consultation calls got set up? The very next week. The very next week on my day off, I set up fucking 4 of them. And I just rattled them all out. They were 15-minute consultation calls. I did them all stacked back to back to back to fucking back. That way I got to talk to these people one little fucking hour block on my day off. I rattled through them. They were fun. They were very informative. I got a good vibe from certain people, bad vibe from certain people, nixed those ones out, started to fucking focus on these ones in the next steps. Then I got the very next calls with both those companies that I decided to go with to go further with. I got those fucking follow-up calls set up in 3 days. So what I'm trying to explain to you is your procrastination is fear. And your procrastination is uncertainty. That's what's causing the fear. You just don't know what the fuck it looks like. And that's even more of a reason to just go fucking start doing the actual task. So just remember, you can spend your entire fucking lifetime waiting for all the stars to align so that you can start your thing. Or you can start your fitness journey by doing push-ups this afternoon. You can start your meditation journey tomorrow morning by literally just closing your eyes when your fucking goddamn tea kettle goes to make your fucking coffee. Does that make sense? You can start your financial journey of trying to run a business just by saying, I actually want to come up with a business idea, and sit down with a piece of paper and write out like what you want to do and talk to someone about it. It really is that fucking easy. I know that sounds crazy to people, but it is. It is. You can start your mental health journey just by fixing your negative self-talk this afternoon. Just wake up this morning and go, you know what? I've been really negative and I don't like feeling this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take slight control of when I feel myself going negative. I'm going to go, see? I'm being negative again. I have a lot to be grateful for. I'm not dead. I have a fucking... The shit that I have the situation I've got now. I should be grateful for that. So just get started. If you think about it like this, I'm 37 years old. I wish I would have started all this when I was 24. I wish I would have started a business when I was 24. Now, that wasn't in the cards for my hero's journey. I had to fucking go dip into the underworld so I could understand the plight of the common man. So that's a part of my journey as well. Doesn't mean I don't wish I had gone a little bit further, a little bit faster. I could either wait until 40 to start and then get my 3-year goals accomplished at 43, or I could start them today and I could have them by 40 when I would have potentially started. So just understand, it's a lot simpler to get started than you think. All you have to do is start fucking moving. Last little life hack. When you feel that anxiety come up, action is anxiety's worst enemy, right? Anxiety comes up, it's like, oh, I don't really want to. Stop thinking when that comes up and just start fucking moving. Go, you know what, this is just me being stupid. I'm just going to go ahead and do the thing. Move into action faster. Sit in the thinking negotiation phase less. Minimize that pocket where you have all that fucking time to sit there and contemplate. And what you're really doing is you're putting decision fatigue into your fucking day. So you're going to be more tired than you would too. So that's a whole nother conversation about how to optimize your kind of thinking process and streamline your flow state. But more than anything, just start with that little click. Am I waiting on something because I'm being a fucking bitch? Am I pretending that I'm going to fucking accumulate all this stuff and then start in 9 months and be 9 months behind where I would have been if I started today? Be honest. Don't fucking lie to yourself. You can lie to other people all you fucking want, but make sure you're not lying to you. Don't lie to other people either. It makes you a fucking asshole. But let's get this shit together. I wish all of you the best of luck. You can pull off the thing that you want to pull off. I fucking promise. If you're thinking like the reason you don't want to start is because it's not going to work, fucking put that shit out of your head. It's going to fucking work. I don't care what the fucking idea is. It's going to fucking work. All you have to do is play an infinite game, not a finite one. Play it forever. Dedicate. Commit yourself to it. Write down a small plan and start fucking chipping away off stuff off the list. Don't sit there and go like, well, it's 15 things and it's too many. Just pick the first one. Just fucking do that.